But you basically said to him, what are the good things Biden has done? And he really didn't have much, right? And we can all point to the bad things Biden has done as it relates to the economy and particularly the border and the rest of it. And a lot of people see that. Even apolitical people see the crime going up in the streets and everything else. So the decent liberal who is suddenly like, you know what, my son thinks he's a girl. There's a cannibal living 2 blocks over. You're allowed to take over people's houses and they won't kick you out. You see that story out of New York now?
Yeah. Do you have that story, Rob? What page is that story on?
They're just stacking a whole bunch of insane shit. And the good libs, and by the way, that was part of my argument for DeSantis, was the good libs will much more easily be able to vote for DeSantis than Trump. Yeah. But I think Trump has an opportunity now.
You're leaving
by the way,
one story
I have to go to that story. I have to go to that story. Check this out. By the way, homeowner, okay, not homeowners, homeowner, this lady who's a homeowner of $1 million property, detained for allegedly kicking squatters out of own home.
Her house.
Did you hear what I just read?
Yeah.
Okay. So she gets detained, if you have the video, Rob, for asking people who are not paying rent to leave her house. She gets arrested. Okay.
Is Babylon Bee?
This is not Babylon Bee. This is not satire. This is definitely not Onion.
This is real.
But let me read this to you. Okay, let me read this to you. Adele Andaloro was detained by police after attempting to remove squatters from her inherited $1 million home in Queens, which she discovered had been illegally occupied and locked by squatters. Video footage captured Andaloro confronting the squatters after hiring a locksmith to regain access to her property. Is this it, Rob? Is this the clip?
Yeah.
Okay. So regain access to property. One squatter claiming to be on a lease but failing to provide documentation when pressed by reporters. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob. Go ahead.
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
Being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Adele Andaloro says the intruders moved in about 6 weeks ago. They changed the entire front door.
Why would somebody live in New York?
Her home.
Right.
I don't own this.
Exactly. Yes. She does.
Yes. But then once again, you should know how the law works.
How the law works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
The woman managed to get inside and lock the squatters out, but the men stormed back inside.
That's not going on.
Call the police again.
The men called the police on her and got her arrested for the illegal eviction.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically she can't be kicked out.
That's the law.
They claimed they've been renting the property since October but failed to provide any documentation.
By the time that someone does their investigation, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. You shouldn't be.
That's
so here's a commercial for New York City. This is for Queens, right? This is a commercial for New York. You just saw that, right? First, a person can come out after you paid off the debt for a loan that you had, the appraisal, everything done legally. She can come back later on, 20, 30 years later, and say, no, you owe now $400 million for all the debt. They're like, no, we got our bet. Then you can own a home in New York, and somebody can come in and claim they've been paying rent since October, cannot prove documentation. Then you who owns the home is still being arrested. This doesn't sell the dream. No wonder half of the people in New York are thinking about moving to a different city.
And then think how freaking ridiculous it is that the cops then have to enforce that. Yeah. And you've also degraded the level of person that is going to be an officer in New York now.
Wow.
Yep.
So instead of them dealing with real crime, and now they've got the freaking National Guard in the subway, you've got cops kicking out, arresting people who own the house.
But that's what O'Leary was talking about. The issue is the laws. This is... Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening. This is about liberal leadership. They made the laws. That poor cop was saying, and I feel for the cop, he said, technically, because it's the law. They made the laws. Liberals made the laws to enable the seizure this way by sitting in a vacant home for 30 days, and then they changed the locks. So that homeless guy is saying, I don't know, I don't want what's right, I want the law. And the law is bad. This is what liberal policies do. This is failure.
And by the way, just because of stuff like that, there was a TikTok illegal saying if a house is not inhibited, because they're paying attention.
He's
the
doing a how-to video.
He's going, a how-to video on TikTok going, he's telling illegals how to invade, squat.
You're joking.
Rob, Rob, his name,
You're joking. Send it to Rob.
I'm not even joking.
While you're sending that.
That's the guy right there. Listen to this piece of shit. Sorry for my language. I have to. It drives me nuts.
Rob.
The subtitles, it's in Spanish,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
in
subtitles
Spanish.
tell
So
it.
basically,
Does he
Podemos
speak in
invadar
Spanish?
una casa. We are able to invade a house. Is that
He's
that's what
basically
that
saying in
says?
Spanish, but what he said. Yo, look.
Pensado invadir una casa en United States.
Yeah.
Ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno.
Wow.
Y creo que ese será mi próximo
my next
negocio.
business invading.
Invadir casas
Abandoned
abandonadas.
houses since I have looked.
Ya que me he buscado unos
He looks really
códigos
happy about
For
it, too,
some
right?
mis
codes
amigos
with my friend
africanos.
Africans,
Y me
and they
dijeron
told me that they
que ya
have
llevan
already
como
taken
7 casas
about 7 houses.
expropiadas.
And as the saying
Y como
goes,
dice el
Daddy,
dicho, papi,
you have to
hay
look
que
for
buscar la vuelta.
the return,
Y
and
la vuelta ahorita
the return
mismo
right now is
es invadir
to invade a house
casas.
since we are not
Ya
in
que nos encontramos en
a street
situación de
situation.
calle. Y es la
That
única
is
manera.
And guess what? And guess
Deposit
what?
right now.
So guys, thank Joe Biden and Mayorkas, the little rat. And this is just, these are houses that nobody's in right now. Wait till they're like, you know what?
Yes,
F
this-
it. Go ahead, yeah, Dave.
No,
please.
this is the point, because in El Salvador, which now is turning around because of Bukele, and he's arresting all of these people.
Yeah.
I was in San Salvador maybe 12 or 13 years ago, and at the time, my brother-in-law was working there. It was crazy crime, and you basically had to have armed guards everywhere you go and stay behind barbed wire and all that. But what the gangs were doing, it wasn't that they were just walking into houses that were empty. They would just walk into houses that had people there and just kick them out of the houses. And that's exactly right, Vinny. The next thing is that they will literally walk into your house. They'll kick you out of the house. The police aren't going to do jack shit because they're not qualified to do anything anymore. And they also don't want to be called racist and everything else. Yep. And you're going to have basically gang lords taking over suburban areas. And again, it gets to the point that there will be nobody left in these states and cities to do anything about.
This is why, one thing for Dave, this is why your mantra, crazy world, sane views, makes so much more sense right now. The first video of the guy taking over the New York apartment, then you have this guy right now. This guy went from a squatter to a legal scholar like that. He's like, well, according to bylaw 42069, finders, keepers, losers, weepers out here. It's like, where'd you get that? And they said that it's a landlord-tenant issue. No, it's a landlord-criminal issue. Speaking of criminal, I don't know where the free speech and inciting violence or inciting crime, the line on that, but this is clearly incitement of crime.
And there's another one, because, once you go down this deep dive, and it's like they're hiding this shit. Yeah. There was one guy that made another video, Dave, I'm pretty sure you saw it. He has a baby, and he's saying in Spanish, he's like, look, all you have to do, come here and have a baby. They can't kick you out. They can't kick you out. And thank God, because this is how God works sometimes. He made another video crying. Child Services came and took the baby away because he made that stupid-ass video, and they got his ass, and they're probably going to try to deport him. Ridiculous.